Hi, so today we're going to talk about food and nutrition. So food, the main reason we eat food is to get energy from the food that we eat. The energy in food is generally measured in calories. You might notice that it's a capital C. 1 calorie is equal to 1,000 little calories. On your food label, it's all measured in little calories. 1 calorie is the amount of heat needed to raise the temperature of 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. That's the definition of a calorie. Caloric needs vary for each person depending on how much physical activity you get, how old you are, etc. So an average-sized female teenager needs about 2,200 calories a day. An average-sized male teenager needs about 2,800 calories a day. And if you exercise regularly, your energy needs may be higher. So, as you will see in the Fed Up video, a calorie is not a calorie, and everybody's calorie needs are different. And 2,000 calories of junk food is not the same as 2,000 calories of healthy, nutritious food. So nutrients, something that we need and we get from food. Nutrients are substances in your food that supply the energy and raw materials your body uses for growth, repair, and maintenance. So not only do we eat food for energy, but also the food we eat is broken down and used to make structures in our body, such as muscle and other parts of our cells. The nutrients the body needs are, there's 6 of them: water, carbohydrates, fats, proteins, vitamins, and minerals. So let's start with water. Water is one of the key nutrients that's totally essential because every cell in the human body needs water because many of the body's processes take place in water. So these are some of the functions of water in your body. Moistens tissues for mouth, eyes, and nose so your eyes don't dry out. Protects your body organs and tissues. Helps prevent constipation. Helps dissolve minerals and other nutrients to make them accessible to the body. So without water, we can't absorb some of the nutrients that we eat. Water also regulates body temperature, lubricates joints, reduces the burden on kidneys and liver by flushing out waste products. So it gets rid of some of those toxins that might accumulate in your liver and your kidneys, and carries nutrients and oxygen to cells. So water makes up blood, lymph, and other bodily fluids. It is lost during sweating when it evaporates to cool the body. Water vapor is also lost from the body with every breath you exhale and in your urine. So if you put your hand in front of your mouth and you go, your hand feels moist. That's because you're getting rid of water vapor. So humans need to drink at least 1 liter of water each day to replenish all of the water that's lost. Okay, the second nutrient you need besides water is carbohydrates. So carbohydrates are the main source of energy for the body. Okay, they provide the energy that you need to get through your day, to exercise, etc. There are 2 main types: simple carbohydrates and complex carbohydrates. We'll talk about each one, but you can see in this chart, complex carbs, we'll talk about whole grains because they fit in this category as well, but complex carbs generally come from your fruits and vegetables. Simple carbs come from processed food, white pasta, white rice, etc. So simple carbohydrates are found in fruits, honey, and sugarcane. Simple carbohydrates do not need to be digested or broken down. They are simply used straight away by the body, and as you will see in the Fed Up video, it goes straight to your liver, spikes your blood sugar, and your liver really can't handle all of that sugar, so it turns it to fat. Complex carbohydrates, on the other hand, they're also known as starches, are found in grains, potatoes, and vegetables. They need to be broken down before they can be used by the body. So many foods contain complex carbohydrate, cellulose, or fiber. So some of the complex carbs you see here, we have our whole grains, our wheat pasta, our whole wheat bread. You'll see fruits, you'll see vegetables. All of these are examples. Nuts are examples of complex carbohydrates. This is where we get our slow release of energy, like in Fed Up you saw the almond example versus the soda example. It's a much slower release because it takes longer for the complex carbohydrates to be broken down. So fiber is definitely needed in your diet. Fiber helps the liver overload of sugar. So if you're eating fibrous food, you're not going to get that spike in blood sugar. So fiber, bulk supplied by fiber helps muscles keep food and waste moving through your digestive and excretory systems. Example are whole grain breads and many fruits and vegetables all have fiber. There are two types of fiber that we're going to talk about, soluble and insoluble fiber. And here's some examples of foods high in soluble and insoluble fiber. Figs, garbanzo beans, lima beans, soybeans, kidney beans, grits, carob flour. Foods high in insoluble are wheat bran, dried coconut, pistachio, cowpeas, almonds, lentils, cornbread. So there's a lot of whole grains that are high in fiber. There's also a lot of nuts that you'll see and beans that are really high in fiber. So fats is the next nutrient that you need. They're also called lipids. They're an important part of a healthy diet. Fats are formed from fatty acids and glycerol. The function is to produce cell membranes, myelin sheaths around neurons, and certain hormones. So it produces, it gives you the structure for your cell membranes. These myelin sheaths around your neurons protect your neurons and they insulate them to make the signals in your brain go faster. And of course, certain hormones are lipids, such as testosterone and estrogen. So to help the body absorb fat-soluble vitamins, we also need fat. So fat is essential to help you absorb vitamins. And third, to protect your body organs and insulate the body. So fats are classified into two categories, saturated or unsaturated. When there are only single bonds between carbon atoms in the fatty acids, the fat is called saturated. Example, most saturated fats are solids at room temperature, including butter and other animal fats. So the marble fat you see in meat, the reason why cheese is hard, it's mostly made of saturated fat. You can see saturated fat in butter. Butter is a perfect example of pretty much a stick of saturated fat. So it's solid at room temperature. Unsaturated fats have at least one double bond in the fatty acid chain. They're usually liquids. Because of this, they're usually liquids at room temperature. Because many vegetable oils contain more than one double bond, they are called polyunsaturated. So here's a bunch of different oils. So your olive oil, your avocado oil, etc. Those are all made with unsaturated fats. Both saturated and unsaturated are necessary for your health. However, you want to stick more to the unsaturated fat category than the saturated fat category. So proteins. The function is proteins supply raw materials for growth and repair of structures such as skin and muscle. Protein is the main thing that makes up your muscle fibers. They have regulatory and transport functions. There are so many proteins in the body that have so many different functions. Proteins are essential to survival. And you can see proteins in a lot of different varieties of foods, including nuts and beans and seafood and meat products, etc. So the structure, proteins are polymers of amino acids. So proteins are these long strings of amino acids. So strung together, here it is molecularly, we'll learn about this in chapter 2, but strung together they create this chain. You fold the chain, it creates the structure of the protein. The body can synthesize only 12 of the 20 amino acids used to make proteins in your body. The other 8 amino acids are called essential amino acids and they have to come from your food. You cannot get them, your body cannot make them on their own. So that's another reason why food is essential. So animal products, including meat, fish, eggs, and milk, contain all 8 essential amino acids, and foods derived from plants such as grains and beans do not. Therefore, people who don't eat animal products must eat a combination of plant foods to obtain all of the essential amino acids. So if you do eat meat, you do get your 8 essential amino acids. If you don't, you need to combine things like grains and beans and vegetables in order to get all of your amino acids. So vitamins are organic molecules that help regulate body processes, often working with enzymes. So most vitamins must be obtained from food. You do not make them in your body, so you have to get them from the food you eat. A diet lacking certain vitamins can have serious, even fatal consequences. Perfect example is something called folic acid. It's a vitamin that is primarily given in high doses to pregnant women, because if pregnant women do not get enough folic acid, their baby can end up with neural tube defects such as spina bifida or anencephaly. And a lot of those babies have major disabilities and or die very young. So there are two types of vitamins, fat soluble and water soluble. The fat soluble vitamins A, D, E, and K can be stored in the fatty tissues of the body. The body can build up stores of these vitamins for future use. So here are some foods you can get these from, vitamins A, D, E, and K. D you get mainly from the sun. Vitamin A is in carrots. Vitamin K is in leafy greens. Vitamin E you can find in fish, meat products, eggs, etc. So vitamin A, or retinol is another name for it. It's important for the growth of skin cells and also your vision. Vitamin D promotes bone growth, increases calcium and phosphorus absorption. It can be found in animal products, but also from the sun. Vitamin E is an antioxidant. It prevents cellular damage. K is needed for normal blood clotting. The water-soluble vitamins dissolve in water and that cannot be stored by the body. Because of this, they need to be eaten regularly on a daily basis. So eating a diet containing a variety of foods will supply the daily vitamin needs of nearly everyone. Most of your vitamins, and you can do this as a general rule, most of your water-soluble vitamins can come from fruits and vegetables. Anything that's colorful has a lot of different vitamins in it. That's just a general rule. So vitamin B1 carries out normal metabolism of carbohydrates. B2, normal growth, part of the electron transport chain, energy metabolism. Niacin is important in energy metabolism. B6, amino acid metabolism. Pantothenic acid needed for energy metabolism, and folic acid involved in nucleic acid metabolism prevents neural tube defects, like I said, in developing fetuses. So you can see a lot of this has to do with metabolism and energy use. B12, coenzyme in nucleic acid metabolism, also in maturation of red blood cells, so it's very important for pregnant women to get a lot of B12 as well. Vitamin C, maintenance of cartilage and bone, improves iron absorption for healthy gums, tissue repair, and wound healing. Biotin, coenzyme in the synthesis of fat, amino acid metabolism, and choline required for phospholipids and neurotransmitters. So the last one is minerals. Inorganic nutrients that the body needs, usually in small amounts, are called minerals. By eating a variety of foods, you can meet your daily requirement of minerals. You cannot make minerals on your own. You have to get them from food. And the best source of them are healthy foods. Fruits, vegetables, meat products, grains, beans, etc. So calcium, important in bone and tooth formation, blood clotting, and nerve and muscle function. Phosphorus, bone and tooth formation. Acid-base balance. Potassium, acid-base balance. Body-water balance, nerve function and muscle function. Chlorine, acid-base balance, formation of gastric juice. And sodium, acid-base balance, body-water balance, and nerve function and muscle function. Magnesium, activation of enzymes and protein synthesis. Iron is a component of hemoglobin and of electron carriers used in energy metabolism. Fluorine, maintenance of tooth structure and bone structure. Iodine, component of thyroid hormones, and zinc, digestive enzymes. So nutrition and a balanced diet. The new food pyramid classifies foods into 6 categories: grains, vegetables, fruits, milk, meat and beans, and fats, sugars, and salts. This is the new pyramid put out by the government. However, we're seeing a different change in the pyramid, and I'll show that to you in just a minute. But this is the new pyramid. And the figure climbing up the side of the pyramid represents exercise. So there's this new thing where it's not really a pyramid anymore, okay? And you should get at least 30 minutes of exercise each day. So what I want to show you before I go over the food label is actually we're now coming out with what we call the food plate. And the food plate shows you portion sizes and how much of your plate should be filled with each. How much should be grains, how much should be vegetables, fruits, oils, milk, and meat and beans. What you don't notice on this plate at all is sugar products. It isn't even included on the new plate. Whereas you look at the pyramid and there is a place for fats, sugars, and salts. It's very small, but it's still there. All right, so the food label provides information about nutrition. Daily values are generally based on a 2,000 calorie diet, and nutrient needs are affected by age, gender, and lifestyle. When choosing foods, you should compare similar foods on the basis of their proportion of nutrients to calories. So it's not just about the calories, it's more about the nutrients. When you choose a food, it should be high in nutrition and low in calories. And that's all for today. Thanks for watching.